the last few years have been pretty substantial for emulation. Even the news of emulation has kind of been substantial with Nintendo going after them, because Nintendo knows that the best place to enjoy Nintendo games is not on Nintendo. Alright, so what was one of those other thingies? Oh, how Xbox needs official emulation on PC.
Yeah, we could do that one.
Yeah, so if you've seen any of my other videos, maybe not any of my other videos, but some of my other videos,
You gotta say
you
hi.
would know.
You got to say hello.
I don't need to say anything. Hi there. I hope you're doing fine today. You're looking mighty fabulous, if I do say so myself. And if you're of another persuasion, dude or bro or lass, you're looking fucking fierce. No, anyway, enough of that shit. Hi, I'm Vyx. I'm joined by my wife, and we're having a discussion today on, I guess it is how Xbox needs official emulation support on PC specifically, but how that would also benefit the console. And so yeah, as I was saying, if you've seen other specific videos of mine, you'll know that I am a big fan of video game preservation and emulation, and no, neither of those two things are just code for piracy. I am a big fan of regaining value in investments one may have made forever ago, or, you know, maybe around 2021 you started getting into video game collecting or something, you know, and you're collecting retro games. I am all for people having more control of the things they own. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And the way it works on Xbox, sorry, this is about Xbox and how they need official emulation. So the way backwards compatibility works on an Xbox console is it essentially emulates an original Xbox console and then checks for the license. Oh, yep, you own this game digitally, blah, blah, blah. You've got the ROM, here you go. And it runs. Every time that ROM runs on your console, it's running just like an old disc-based game. Oh, it's just installed. No, not exactly. Like, it is an emulation. And so backwards compatibility, in a sense, is limited by emulation and or the money that Microsoft is willing to put into it. Right now, everything's about AI and, you know, who knows, whatever. We'll try not to get too distracted and ramble in this video, but regardless, it is through emulation that Xbox has backwards compatibility at all. Now, when you are part of the Xbox ecosystem, as well as a PC pursuant, you will realize very quickly that just by, you know, signing in with your Xbox account and whatever, there are some versions of your Xbox games available as a PC port, like a native PC port. You get a PC version of the game as well as the console version. That's a pretty good deal, especially for like people like me who have a PC that they really enjoy using, and also a family and consoles and, you know, whatever. It really works great for us when we can buy a game once and have it multiple places. And then you even have the option to stream any game from your console to the PC. I believe it's any game, or it's a lot of games at the very least. And that's kind of neat, but, you know, it's still streaming, or it feels gross, you know, you want it to be local. And so it would really behoove Xbox and Microsoft, and again, not saying that they are going to do this, it'd be really great for everyone, we'll just say. They'd make a lot of money, you know, people would expand their already established libraries. It would not necessarily compete, per se, with Steam. No, actually, you know what? It would compete with Steam if Xbox was able to really nail down the availability of the Xbox Play Anywhere system, where you buy it on Xbox, you get it on PC, vice versa. There is something to be said about the versions you get on Xbox. It seemed to be an issue much more in the past. I haven't noticed it so much yet recently, but I don't test it rigorously, but I have had instances way in the past where a Microsoft-supplied version of a game ran kinda funky on PC or lacked some features like some graphical options that most PC games have. So like there used to be discrepancies, and maybe there was a reason to buy it again on Steam even if you had the Xbox version natively on your PC, or the Windows version, I guess you could call it. But that seems to have kind of diminished. I've not really noticed that at all anymore. Could also be that I've got a computer. I'm fortunate enough to have a computer that doesn't really struggle with games and stuff right now. So maybe that's part of it too. I don't know. But the point is, the same emulation that they have going on the Xbox, they should prioritize making that available through the Xbox, even if it's like through the Xbox app. Like, I don't want you to have to be signed in. I would love the shit to run locally, and it still could. And hear me out. If Xbox were to really invest a little chunk of money into the emulation side of it, and I know that it comes with licensing fees to, you know, relicense a lot of these properties, or the work that was only licensed once, and yada yada yada. Like, I know it's not always just cut and dry, plain and simple. All I'm saying though is that I think it is actually worth the money and the time that it would take for them to do it, because it expands their reach and it prevents them from appearing like gatekeepers, because you don't want to be perceived as a gatekeeper, I guess is what I'm getting at. It's not a good look. People don't like gatekeeping. It's kinda cringy. Imagine you get an Xbox console because it's the only... I'm not saying the next one's gonna come with a disk drive. God, I hope it does. Like, Jesus. Like, having to buy external disk drives for everything nowadays, like, it kind of took me a minute when I built this PC a couple years ago to wrap my head around the fact that I didn't have a disk drive in my PC. Don't remember the last time I needed to use a disk on a PC. However, I use physical media all the time for movies, and I don't know, CD's not a bad format, like, and Blu-ray, and they want physical media to die. I'm not getting into that in this video. I'm gonna get triggered, oh my god. They want physical media to die, they want consumer hardware to die, they want all this so they can have control, they can gatekeep it, they want it, everybody wants their own goddamn Disney vault. They want to be able to lock shit away. What was this video even about? I already got distracted. Xbox needs emulation.
Emulation on Xbox.
But imagine you get into the Xbox ecosystem, you buy it because it's got a disk drive, and you just want a Blu-ray player for your physical media, and you sign in with your email, and oh yeah, I do have an Xbox account signed into this, and then you're like, oh wait, and your Xbox tells you all the, you know, cross-hybrid, whatever you want to call them, features, and you have a PC, you've been on PC forever, you're only getting the Xbox because you needed a Blu-ray player. Or, you know, maybe even you're logging in on your Xbox Series X in 5 years because everything in the fucking world is locked down and the internet is all tightly controlled and unfun and, you know, even more dangerous than before. Ironically. And you just want to fucking play some damn video games, so you buy an Xbox Series X, and you know, that's what gets you into it. And so you're on your PC, one of the last PCs anyone will ever own, and you log into your Xbox account on the Xbox app, and you see hundreds of games that you've accumulated through the years digitally available, because not only do you have all the games that were available the last time you used it, but you have all of the backwards compatible games that they've since added that you had license to, or that you still have the disc version of. You can just put it in the Xbox, it gives you the license, whatever, and then, you know, it's available on your PC, you run the games locally, be fucking fantastic. And if they really are putting money into the emulation side of it, why stop there? Just go ahead and do the... I mean, it would already include, what, Xbox and Xbox 360, so go ahead and do the Xbox One games, because their priority now is pivoting to the PC side anyway, right? So, if they're already going to be trying to prioritize PC builds of games and then redistributing it, well, actually they won't be, because it's going to be a PC hybrid console thing. It's a fucking PC. It's miniature. form factor PC. Like that's what it is. And so my PC and whatever box I end up putting in the living room, if we even end up getting one, and I might just build a home entertainment PC, like a little mini ATX thing, you know, who knows? Again, it might be the last PC we ever get a chance to build, but it would be really cool. We know that those games are already gonna, future games at least, are already gonna just run natively on the box versus my PC. So put that emulation team to work for you in a little bit of future proofing, because it will expand people's libraries, and people love the perception of getting things for free. And that's what it feels like when something you once had lost is returned to you. It's like, oh wow, that's cool. Like it is just, it's a good feeling. Like if anybody's ever been returned something that they either lost or it was stolen or whatever, it's a great feeling to be reminded of the kindness. Microsoft's probably not kind. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it feels good to have something returned to you. And if that happens in the form of a video game library, I'll take it, dude. Obviously, it's no GOG giving me full access to my files and all that stuff, but it's not bad. And considering the bleak-ass future we're facing down, the idea of having access to some of the shit we've spent tons of fucking money on over the years that we may have, you know, we should still have access to, but it was delisted, or, you know, whatever have you. I don't know. There are all sorts of ways they could go about it. I'm just trying to start a discussion about it, because honestly, if it's not their priority already, it really should be. It's a no-brainer to me. Like, don't fight the emulation community like Nintendo does, or even like PlayStation may start doing in the future. I swear to God, if PlayStation starts going after emulating companies, people, they're not companies making these emulators, they're people, like, they're fans. They are loyal, the most loyal fans doing this shit, because they love what they had all. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna go off on a tirade about it. The emulation community is passionate, and work with them, and they'll love you for it. And there's way more people out there that love emulation than you'll even realize. Like, it's not like being a Linux bro, where they are surely going to tell you that they run Linux, bro. It's just, I play my PlayStation 2 games, like, and if somebody is curious or whatever, I will explain that I play them on my PC because I can play them in 4K and widescreen and yada yada yada. So, you know, whatever. But when it comes up, oh no, I was just playing Shadow of the Colossus, you know. Oh, isn't that an old game? Yeah, but it's so good. Like, it doesn't really come up that it's emulation. But a lot of people do emulate their old games, like their old library, because a lot of us still have it. Some of us don't have all of it, which is unfortunate. But, you know, life. You get old, you lose shit, shit happens, houses burn down, you move, whatever. But yeah.
Let's not forget that many of these companies would not have access to their entire library of games that they, as the company, paid for and created without emulation. It is the emulation community that has saved many projects, not all, but many projects,
from being deleted because the companies didn't think to save masters. Yeah.
Yeah, they just got rid of it and paid no mind to what would happen to it. And then 20, 30 years later, they want to re-release the game. Well, guess what? They don't have anything for it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's the community and the preservation of games through emulation that's made that possible at all.
That's actually a really good example. Like, I think the time frame or whatever you use may be off a little bit, but essentially, yeah, there was a video game preservation community back before you even really considered it preservation, but it was there. They were doing it, and because they were doing it, and due to piracy, some companies were very fortunately able to reclaim the data that they no longer had and then resell it. But without the illegal means to procure games, aka yo-ho-ho and a bottle of piracy,
A bottle of piracy.
It wouldn't have been available to the people who originally created it, or rather the people who own the IP. And so they then waited a while and then switched narrative to, well, video game preservation is just piracy, because that's all they've ever known it as, really. But honestly, it was video game preservation back when they made their first impression of it. And so, I don't know.
Like an ancient, it's kind of like an ancient piece of, I don't know, like a sculpture or something. Maybe it gets stolen. But the temple that it was originally in gets hit by a hurricane and destroyed, and the only surviving piece is a stolen relic. Sometimes it works out for the better. It works out for history and for people. Even though maybe it wasn't such a great, it didn't seem so morally correct at the time.
I'm just gonna go ahead and agree with everything you just said, because my eyes glazed over and I started thinking about Lara Croft and how she loves history and ancient civilizations and shit. Meanwhile, she is just romping through like a motherfucking elephant, breaking, smashing, destroying, blowing up, flooding, setting off every trap, like completely not decimating, obliterating these ancient places, and all for the love of the place. I don't know, I always thought that was funny as a kid. Same thing kind of with Indiana Jones, you know, like you go in, you set off a bunch of traps, the whole place falls apart. It's like, oh yeah, such respect for that ancient temple no one else can now appreciate. Good thing Steven Spielberg caught it on film, honestly, because those native people must have been really pissed off. Obviously, I'm being stupid, but anyway, we got off on another tirade. If this is your first video, welcome. Did I say hello? This is the same video. Of course I said hello. Hello. Hello again. If you're still here, you deserve 3 additional hellos. So hello. That's the 3rd one. Keep count. If you can't keep up, take notes. I'm just kidding. I'm glad you're here. Anyway, was that all we were talking about? We were talking about Xbox needing emulation, how nice it is to get your games all in one place. Oh, that was basically the main point of why it's worth them investing the money into this, is because it expands your library, and the more you can expand someone's library, the more they feel inclined to invest in that ecosystem. For example, you may notice on PC, like you switch to PC, and oh my god, I'm not using the Windows Store. I've heard all the whatever. I'll use the Xbox app. It's still the Windows Store. But so then you install Steam and you install GOG, because my god bless GOG, and maybe Epic and some Rockstar launcher, and you know, my point is there's tons of options of places to procure your games on PC, and it's not even including the in the bottle of piracy option that everybody loves to pin on PC gamers. There are options, and within those options, they give you free games. A lot of games for free. Sometimes it's like a benefit, like a side perk. It's like a perk side loaded into the plan, like the Amazon Prime games. I get free games through Amazon Prime, and then, you know, you sign into Epic, every couple weeks or something, and you go down on the bottom of the page of the store, and they give away free games on a rotation, or like whatever. This time to this time you get this game, you can just download it for free. And the whole reason these different ecosystems would give you free games is because if they can get you to create an account in order to claim a free thing, not only does that look good for the company, that's one more person utilizing the service, but if you're signing up, you make an account, and then you download 2 free games this month. And then next month, they give you 3 free games. And that's not only included, or that's not even including the free-to-play games that you could possibly play through their service, or whatever, you know, whatever have you. Because if you're buying currency in a lot of cases, in a lot of free-to-play games, the the platform on which you bought it gets a cut unless it's being bypassed and, you know, whatever. So, if they can bolster your library of games slowly but surely with, you know, shit that they can stand, because it's not like they gave it away to everyone. It's only the people that bothered to get on and get it for free. But if they can slowly but surely bolster the library of people that reliably will utilize the service, they'll get on their PC, they'll check for those free games, whatever, then that person is just that much more inclined to eventually maybe buy a game through that service, because I already have 35 games on this client. I've, you know, enjoyed playing through the last 5 I did. You know, it's kind of cool having a little pocket of games. And then that gets you accepting of the idea of having your portfolio of games diversified across clients. Then maybe you'll just partake of the sale and add your own game that you didn't get for free. So then once that is accomplished, they have one more user, one more active member that is giving them money. And again, free-to-play games exist, and they still benefit from people that play them using only the free model. And the same thing can be said for these services giving away games for free. They didn't give it away to everybody, because not everybody downloaded it, and it's a time-limited thing. So they still can stand to make money on the game from somebody else buying it at a different time. Plus, that's a person utilizing their service.
Yeah, like people like to support games or companies that support them. So by giving them the free games, you are supporting them, and maybe a time when they don't have the extra cash to throw at you. Because, you know, most people are living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, there are plenty of people who have it all planned out, but let's be real, most of us don't. By giving them that free games, for example, I own 32 free games on GOG. And because I own 32 free games on GOG, I am much more willing to throw some money at GOG when a game that I do want is on there and on sale, which most of them seem to be on sale anyway. I don't mind giving them some money because they do so much for me for free without even, I didn't have to go online and complain. They're just doing it.
Well, GOG
is a very good example.
GOG is a really good example, I guess is the best way I can put it, of a client done right. I love Steam, don't get me wrong, but you still are only owning a license to the game. But with GOG, it's different. I won't get in. I'm not pretending to know all the inner details. I'm not a lawyer, you know, a market expert or whatever. But GOG does it differently, and you actually own the game. Like, it's not a right to the game. You can own the game. You can download the game. You can zip up the executable, throw it on a server, and just store it yourself for as long as your hardware lasts and the hard drive doesn't die, you know, like, okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. Xbox, Microsoft, stop putting so much fucking money into AI, put a little bit more money into official emulation. And again, official emulation comes with control and whatever, but it comes with more attention too. Where there's more attention, if, you know, the corporate side of things isn't up to snuff, the community will pick up the slack and elevate it even further. Well, let's not pretend that the community is the only side of this that is capable of making strides in a particular field. Like AAA, if they wanted to, they could really do some damage. No, I mean, they could do damage. They could really put some work in on emulation. And the fact that emulation has come so far in a relatively short time, like, emulation's been around forever, like, don't get me wrong, but like, the last few years have been pretty substantial for emulation. Even the news of emulation has kind of been substantial with Nintendo going after them, because Nintendo knows that the best place to enjoy Nintendo games is not on Nintendo. And they're offended by that statement, by that opinion, by that objective observation. It would seem that Microsoft has more come to terms with the same realization and is handling it better, but I guess only time will tell. We'll see how well Microsoft makes this next generation transition, and how all the things in the world right now with the prices of RAM and memory going through the roof, and just see, everything is just becoming more and more expensive, but especially when it comes to hardware stuff. It does not seem coincidental at all, but not this video. Did you have anything you would like to add to the Xbox and emulation discussion, my love?
I did actually. So I feel like, okay, we talked about GOG, and I know GOG isn't exactly emulating all of these games, but you do have the
GOG
the
doesn't
copy of the
emulate
game.
it at all. Just
Okay,
to be
so-
clear.
Yeah. Okay. But you do have these games, and you can save them to your computer, and you can zip them and blah 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 blah. But let's say that you bought a game that is an older game that was emulated and whatnot. If they delist that game and all of your connections to the game are through, a server, but now your connection's gone, you've wasted your money.
Well, see
With
that.
traditional
Oh,
emulation,
go on.
you can have a copy of it on your computer, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, it's still dealing with data. Like, I mean, even physical media is still dealing with data. It's just legally different, So, like, well, I guess in some ways it's legally different. Like, when you have to convert files and all that stuff, it gets iffy. But if you own the hardware and you own the games, you are well within your rights to emulate with your own hardware in a better way. You should be able... You should not be able to buy a car and the person that made the car tell you how fast you're allowed to go with it. Or even, you can only go 55 miles per hour. You want to go 65 and up to even... You want the potential to break the law or get right up to whatever the law is? Well, that's a $25 subscription to fully unlock the device. That sound fucking weird? Well, that's what fucking Nintendo is doing with the Switch 2. They are piping in the exhaust audio in full fucking Dolby surround sound so it sounds real good as long as you pay the subscription fee. I'm being hyperbolic, obviously, but look into what I'm saying and it'll make a little bit more sense. Like, that is essentially what Nintendo is doing, and it's kneecapping them. It's kneecapping them. It's gonna kneecap PlayStation. Yeah.
Perhaps it's a whole nother video, but it is definitely crap for a company to sell you a thing with all of these features and say, hey, we're gonna lock them down to you to give us more money. But not only do you have to pay us once, you have to pay us every month. That's crap.
Yeah, that's...
Not just in gaming.
That's all their goal is. All the people with all the the most money, that's what they want. Like, Netflix was a wonderful thing and it broke us free of, TV networks, like paying so much for this network and having a whole TV plan and all that shit. Like, oh, well, just buy Netflix, it's easier and simple and whatever. Shit's not fucking simple anymore, bro. Everybody's got tiers of every fucking thing. There's 30 million butt fucking streaming services. It's just as bad, if not worse, than the cable networks and shit was. And now they're even doing what the cable networks started doing, where they're sharing programming. Like, you can get, fucking Hulu through an exclusive deal with Disney Plus, and with we use Amazon Prime, and we have access to HBO Go or whatever through it, but it has ads, but we have access. I don't even know how it works. It doesn't matter. The point is, like, it's just as convoluted and shit as it was before. Motherfuckers, I want to go back to Blockbuster. If you want to go back to Blockbuster and browse and awkwardly talk to the associate about the recommendations or, whatever, fucking leave a like and comment long live Blockbuster or bring back, comment bring back Blockbuster. Jesus Christ, I hate the future. I can't talk anymore. We've got to go.